Welcome to Philosophy of Action. Today I want to talk about children, and more specifically I want to talk about why having children is not just a lifestyle choice, not just a biological accident and not just a personal preference, but something much deeper than that. In earlier episodes I talked about children as part of the natural purpose of life. Today I want to go beyond biology, beyond instinct and beyond demographics. I want to talk about meaning, about affirmation, and about whether you actually believe in the life you're living. People have children for many reasons. Sometimes it's an accident, sometimes it's a result of desire for descendants, sometimes it's because it seems fun, or because people want companionship, or historically even labor. Modern life has changed all that. But today isn't about policy or birth rates. It's about what having children means. In a very real sense, children are the ultimate expression of the self beyond the self. You are what you are in any given moment. To have a child is at some level to reproduce yourself smaller, imperfect and cuter, and combined with the person you love. And yes, children become their own people, and that's a good thing. But the impulse to have them is still an affirmation of your life as something good, something worth continuing, something worth repeating. To want children is to say, not per se that your life is enjoyable, tolerable or comfortable, but worth of continuation. And that's a very different claim from simply saying, I like my life. Here's the distinction I think we've lost. There's a difference between enjoying life and affirming it. You can enjoy life hedonically. You can chase pleasures, experiences, comfort, travel, entertainment, status. You can say, I'm having a great time. But that's not the same as saying, this way of life should continue beyond me. Affirming life then means you don't just consume life. You don't just enjoy it. You take responsibility for its continuation. In that sense, having children is the most literal, concrete and irreversible way to affirm life. It's not just a feeling, it's not just words, it's a commitment that extends beyond your own lifespan. And this is why I started thinking about the opposite case. People who don't want children. And to be clear, I'm not talking about people who can't have children. That's a completely different category. I'm talking about people who choose not to have them. There are many reasons for that. The most understandable one is practical. I'm not ready. I don't have the money, I don't have the stability, maybe later. That makes sense. But notice what it implies. The person I am right now is not worth of being continued. I will only affirm myself in a better, richer, or more stable version. So here's a very serious question. If you died tomorrow, would you regret not having had children as you are right now? If the answer is yes, then maybe you shouldn't postpone your life forever. And if the answer is no, but you still claim you want children someday, then you should be honest about how short life is and about how much of your existence you're willing to spend preparing instead of living. After all, preparing is also a risk. But there is a deeper case, and this is the one that actually matters philosophically to me. There are people who say, I love my life, I love my values, I love my politics, I love my way of living, and yet they refuse to have children. They want comfort, they want experiences, they want freedom, they want enjoyment, they want to shape society, they want to vote, they want to advocate, they want to tell you what the future should look like. But they don't want to stake themselves in that future. They are in effect saying, I want to enjoy this world, I want to consume part of this world, but I don't want to continue it through myself, or sometimes at all. That's not neutrality, that's not just a different lifestyle. That is existential disinvestment. It means you consume a civilization you're not willing to reproduce. You shape a future your own bloodline will not inhabit. You benefit from other people's children who will staff hospitals, maintain infrastructure, pay taxes, and take care of the elderly, while refusing to contribute to that continuation yourself. And politically this matters as well, because you still vote, you still advocate policies, you still tell others what should be done, but your own line will not live with long-term consequences of those decisions. So I have to ask, why should I take existential or civilizational guidance from someone who refuses to continue themselves into the future they are designing? This is why I say there's a difference between loving yourself sensually and loving your life philosophically. You can enjoy your life and still, at a deeper level, reject it by refusing to let it continue beyond you. If you truly believe your life, or rather your way of life, is good, your values are good, your society is good, your way of being is great even, then the honest response is not just to enjoy it, The honest response is to affirm it, to continue it, to take responsibility for it beyond yourself. Now, this also applies to people who say, my life is miserable, the world is miserable, I'm broken, maybe my genetics are bad, maybe I'm disabled, maybe I suffer too much, so I shouldn't have children. I understand that emotionally, but philosophically, what that says is this form of life should end with me. Some people are horrified by the idea of disabled people having children. I'm not. When they do, they're saying something incredibly strong. Despite suffering, despite limits, despite difficulty, my life is still worth living, still worth continuing, still worth affirming. It doesn't mean suffering doesn't matter. It means existence is not a quality control project. It means life is not something you only pass on if it meets some perfect standard. Once you stop seeing children as a happiness optimization problem, the whole question changes. It's no longer, will they have the perfect life, the best conditions, the most comfort? That question never ends. There is no final answer to it. The real question is simpler and harder. Do you believe this life, your life, and the life of the person you love is worth continuing? Some people will say no, and that is in itself an answer. Be honest about what that means. Don't tell me you love this life, this society, this civilization, this future, while refusing to continue it. This also explains why the question of children is so emotionally explosive in relationships. When one partner wants children and the other doesn't, what is really being said at a deep level? I don't want your existence to continue through me. I don't want to affirm you in that way. Even when motivated by fear or comfort or risk aversion, the conflict is still there. Preservation of the present versus affirmation of the future. And this is also why parents are often devastated when their children say they don't want kids, because descendants are in a sense affirmation of you. So refusing that feels like a rejection not only of the future or not only of yourself, but of your parents and even their grandparents and their parents as well. This is not meant as a cheap moral attack. It's a philosophical claim about sincerity. True belief in a way of life expresses itself in the willingness to continue it and bear its cost into the future. Not just to enjoy it, not just to talk about it, not just to vote about it, but to stake yourself inside of it. So here's the motivational part, and I mean this seriously. If you have children or want them, you're saying something profound. You're saying, my life is not just for me, and my way of life is not just for me. My love is not just for me. My existence is not just for this moment. It's worth continuing. And if you claim to love your life and your lifestyle, your values, your world, then prove it. Don't just consume it. Don't just enjoy it. Continue it. Have children if you can. Not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, but because it is one of the deepest ways to say yes to life, yes to the future, yes to responsibility beyond yourself. That is not just biology, that's affirmation.